Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, April 3rd. Well, our overall cold weather pattern looks like it will continue right into at least the middle part of April. We'll have multiple cold air outbreaks over the next couple of weeks, and there will be additional snow threats as well. One possible this weekend, another one early next week. Certainly not out of the woods yet as far as accumulating snow goes in the mid-Atlantic region. Quite an amazing weather pattern really for this time of the year. We'll focus in on the long term initially, and then we'll get to the short term because quite an interesting up and down pattern over the next few days. Again, this colder pattern does not necessarily mean every single day will be below normal. In fact, it definitely will not be the case tomorrow. Quite warm ahead of a strong cold frontal system. High temperatures well up in the 60s in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. But then we get colder by Thursday. Another cold front arrives on Friday, and certainly it looks like a cold weekend here in the Mid-Atlantic region. This is last night's ensemble run of the GFS at 6Z for the 850 millibar temperature anomalies averaged over the current 5-day period. Really just quite an amazing wall of cold from the Mid-Atlantic region all the way into central Canada. And this area, again, right in here is kind of the source region for the cold air. Over the next couple of weeks, it'll just be cold air outbreaks that break off from that main core of cold up in central Canada and head south and east right into the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, this is the current 5-day period. Let's now jump ahead to the 6 to 10-day period. And here we go, just a lot of below normal conditions here continuing. This is days 6 to 10, basically April 8th to April 13th, getting into the middle of the month of April. And the core of the colder air just to the north and west here, but very cold for this time of the year, all the way down into the southern Mid-Atlantic and even down into some of the southern states as well. Again, this is days 6 to 10. Let's go out another 5 days. And here we go. This is the average, again, using the ensemble run of the GFS. So an ensemble run typically smooths things out as you go forward in time because climatology plays more and more of a role. So in fact, this could end up being colder than the way it appears right now on this forecast map. This is days 11 to 15, April 13th to April 18th, right around the middle part of April. Not only colder than normal here in the northeast U.S., but again, all the way back into south central Canada, much of the U.S. below normal in this particular time frame. And again, this is probably going to turn out a little bit colder than what this ensemble run projects right here. Again, this is all the way into the middle part of April. Well, let's focus in on the next couple of days because it'll actually be quite a wild swinging in temperatures over the next few days here. First of all, we have a warm frontal system approaching there. Certainly some healthy rains out over the Ohio Valley that are moving basically west to east. A lot of this rain over here in the southwestern part of Pennsylvania will slide all the way across the state into the southeastern part over the next few hours. Not too much rain activity expected today in the D.C. metro region. It'll be kind of an enhancement of the shower activity later in the day, later in the afternoon, going into the night. But for the most part, the heaviest stuff, steadiest stuff today will be north of the Mason-Dixon line. But again, this is associated with a warm frontal system. Can be basically showers anytime today, tonight, maybe even some patchy fog late tonight. And then a strong cold front will approach during the day on Wednesday. Well, let's walk through last night's GFS model run, the 0Z model run. First we'll look at the upper level pattern, the 500 millibar pattern, talk about the waves of energy coming our way. And here we are Tuesday morning, and again a warm frontal system is pushing through. This is a vigorous looking upper level low pressure system associated with that strong cold front. And that strong cold front could mean business on Wednesday. It has a lot of upper level support. Could be some wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour or so in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. Maybe a few strong thunderstorms. Temperatures will spike ahead of this cold frontal system. Probably the best chance for showers and thunderstorms will be around the middle of the day in that D.C. to New York corridor. associated with that incoming strong cold frontal system. In fact, that passes through here by late in the day. Temperatures could actually drop during the latter part of the afternoon. Going into the evening, they'll drop sharply. And tomorrow night, way down in the 30s, maybe down to 30, 32 degrees in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. Thursday promises to be a windy and cold day. Phillies home opener in South Philadelphia. The Nationals home opener in Washington. Both will be dry, but certainly windy and cold for this time of the year. And then we'll look upstream, and here we have another wave of energy at the end of the week. This is now going into Friday morning, and basically we'll have a clipper system that drops southeastward across the Great Lakes, produces some rain and snow shower activity in the mid-Atlantic region of the Northeast on Friday, and a cold frontal system associated with that clipper system will then tend to stall just to the south of the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor, and colder air will pour in time for the weekend. And what we'll watch at that point, here we go by Friday night into Saturday morning, there is some energy down in this particular part of the country, the south-central U.S., come early Saturday morning. That frontal system that comes through on Friday will tend to stall out, and a wave will form along that frontal system. Still too early to say exactly how far north and west that system will actually go on Saturday into Saturday night, but there certainly is the chance for snow and even accumulating snow in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City during the day Saturday, somewhere in that time frame, Friday night into Sunday time frame. But certainly there will be a wave of low pressure. Right now, and we'll take a look at this in a moment, the GFS has it farther to the south and east of the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. That certainly can change. We've seen many times in the past several winters where storms along the East Coast tend to push to the north and west in the models as we get closer to the event time. Well, here we go. Now let's take a look at the surface forecast maps from the 0Z GFS model run. Very noticeable warm frontal system depicted right in here by, this is this morning, Tuesday morning. And again, healthy rains over the Ohio Valley will tend to move west to east, primarily holding north of the Mason-Dixon line for the next several hours. But by late today, even D.C. should get in on the rain, and certainly all areas from D.C. to New York City could have rain in the overnight hours, along with some patchy fog developing. Low pressure by this evening over the Great Lakes, and that has a strong cold front trailing it. So we'll first get into the warm air ahead of it. Temperatures probably rise slowly through the night in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, perhaps well up in the 50s by tomorrow morning, and then well up into the 60s just ahead of this strong cold frontal system that will press in probably during the midday hours again. Can be some isolated strong thunderstorms associated with this strong cold front on Wednesday. Winds could gust up to 40 miles per hour or so. That slides on through here by later in the day. Tomorrow night, windy, cold, clearing skies, temperatures plummeting all the way down to near 30 or 32 degrees in the D.C., New York City corridor. And basically a dry but windy and cold day on Thursday. Here we are Thursday morning, cold high pressure edging in. Certainly have to bundle up for the home openers in Philadelphia and Washington on Thursday. Then when we're moving forward here, we start to see clipper systems starting to show up with snow over the Great Lakes by Thursday night. That drops to the south and east, produces some rain and snow shower activity in the Mid-Atlantic region, northeast, favoring snow up in the interior part of the northeast and rain closer to Philadelphia and D.C. And then that cold frontal system associated with that clipper system will push through. Colder air comes in, could even cause a changeover to some snow shower activity by Friday night. But more importantly, that front tends to stall out, and a strong wave of low pressure should form along the southern part of that stalled out frontal boundary zone, and it'll then turn and ride up to the north and east. And again, this particular GFS model run from 0Z last night has it primarily to the south and east of the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. That certainly can change. There certainly is accumulating an accumulating snow threat for Saturday in the I-95 corridor. This could very well shift more to the north and west as we get closer and closer to event time. Following that, another threat is possible with rain or snow by early next week. Here we are by Monday the 9th, and this actually could turn out to be a little colder system than the GFS is depicting right now. So certainly multiple cold air outbreaks coming to the Mid-Atlantic region between now and at least the middle of April. Again, it does not mean every single day will be below normal, but on average, any 5-day period rolling along for the next few weeks likely to be below normal here in the Mid-Atlantic region. And we do have a snow threat for the weekend, probably in the Saturday time frame, maybe even another one early next week. But a warm front to deal with today and tonight, and then a strong cold front on Wednesday, and just windy, cold, and dry for the day on Thursday. That's it for now. A lot going on, an active weather pattern here in the Mid-Atlantic region. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.